Hi everyone, welcome to Lab Exercise 5.3 where we will be doing an exercise in plant identification. But first, let's review Kingdom Plantae for a second. If we scan this QR code, we will go to this mini website all about different types of plants within Kingdom Plantae. It does speak about the mosses and liverworts, the bryophytes, such as mosses and liverworts. It does talk about the pteridophytes, such as ferns. It also talks about the tracheophytes, gymnosperms, and finally the angiosperms, the flowering plants, which is the biggest group, the biggest phyla, and we will be going over each one of these questions in order to answer our scavenger hunt. So the first question is, where geographically are most species of the Araliaceae family found? So what we're going to do after you scan this QR code, just look through these different orders to try to find family Araliaceae. So we are just going to go in order, and what do you know? We got Araliaceae right off the bat, the ginseng family. And the question is, where do they grow? Well, most are found in Southeast Asia and tropical America. So these are tropical plants. They're going to have live and grow in tropical areas. The next question is, what is a common characteristic of the barch in the Plantaceae family? So we are going to look for the Plantaceae family. I'm just going to kind of click around until I find the Plantaceae family, which I am. There we go. There is the Plantaceae family. It's in with the order Hamalidales. I am so sorry. I'm not sure quite how to pronounce that, but we're looking at the sycamore family, and it says that they have scaly bark. The question on the quiz is going to say scaly or exfoliating bark, meaning the bark will peel frequently. All right, next question is asking about the Rosaceae family. So I'm going to kind of look. Sometimes the families are named after the order. So I noticed this one says Rosales, which sounds very much like Rosaceae. So we're going to come in here, and what do you know? Rosaceae is the rose family. So the common flower or the common plant that represents love here is roses. Number 4, what common types of trees belong in the Salicaceae family? So we are going to go back to our key, and we are going to try to find, we'll just keep going in order and try to find that family. Okay, so here, that's not true. That's not correct. Let's keep looking. You know what? I didn't follow my own advice. Salicaceae family is named after the order Salicaceae. Salicaceae. All right, so we're talking about the willow family, but this doesn't just include willows. It also includes aspens, poplars, and cottonwood trees. So we need to write down all 4 of those on our key here. Willows, aspen, poplars, and cottonwood. Number 5, what is the taste of the pawpaw described as? Well, I'm pretty sure that I saw a page earlier that was about fruit. This says custard apple, but that's not the one that we're looking at. Oh, this is the pawpaw. The pawpaw fruit is part of this custard family. And the flavor is described. It's a combination of a tropical banana, mango, pineapple flavor. It's very sweet and has a custard-like texture. So the pawpaw fruit is often described as tropical and sweet. What popular products are made from the Streusseliae family? I think that we clicked on something where I saw Streusseliae earlier. I again apologize. No, I don't see it. So let's go back to our key and see if we can find, we already went there. Oh, we did have one that looked like Streusseliae. I just didn't scroll over. The Streusseliae family, I am butchering that word, Sterculiaceae. It's the cacao family. So cacao plants, meaning chocolate, cocoa, and cola. So the popular products made from this family are going to be any chocolate product or cola product. The last question, what characteristic gives leaves and berries in the Pepperosae family a strong flavor? This sounds a little bit like Piperaceae, Piperellus, so we're going to look here. Pepperosae, Piperaceae is the pepper family. This is not peppers like bell peppers. This is pepper like black pepper and peppercorns. And the chemical that gives it that peppery kick is going to be chavacine. Now, ghost peppers and other kinds of peppers, they use a chemical called capsaicin that has a spicy flavor, but this is chavacine. All right, we are done with that first exercise. Let's continue on to our next exercise. On our next exercise, we're going to be doing plant identification. It says that you need to pick 5 mystery leaves at random. In order to do that, you need to scan this QR code up at the top, and you will come to this page, or actually you'll come to this page where the video should be there. We're going to click on the button that says leaves. Now, we have 13 leaves to choose from. You get to choose 5 leaves at random. So again, 5 mystery leaves at random, write the numbers down, and then you will identify them, list any identifiable features, draw a sketch of it, and tell me whether it's an angiosperm or a gymnosperm. So angiosperm or gymnosperm is going to be the phyla. Well, how are we going to identify them? We are going to look at the image. So let's just say that I'm going to randomly click number 7, and online students should have this worksheet available to them. These are different features that you could identify on this leaf. For instance, this leaf has very small egg-shaped leaves. They are connected to the branch in an alternating pattern. Alternating means that they take turns one after the other instead of connecting at the same location. And then we know that this is a compound leaf with a smooth margin. So we're going to note any of those identifiable features. And this one is unique because it has these large thorns. This is your leaf key. You are going to follow this key. It is a series of yes or no questions. And if we follow the yes or no questions, we should be able to identify our plant. So question number 1 says needle-like or scale-like. Well, these do not look needle-like or scale-like to me. Remember, needle-like or scale-like leaves are typical of the pinophyte family or a gymnosperm. This is an angiosperm, and we know this because not only are the leaves broad and flat, but it produces flowers. So we are going to go to B, where leaves are not needle-like. This tells us to go to step 3. So now I'm going to go to step 3. Are the leaves opposite or alternate? Well, these leaves look alternate to me. So we are going to go to step number 5. Are the leaves simple or compound? Well, we already mentioned that this is a compound leaf, meaning we have multiple leaves attached to the main stem at the same location. So this tells us to go to step 12. Step 12 says leaf twice compound or leaf once compound. This is actually called a double compound. There's 2 compound leaves. This smaller part is 1 compound and the larger part is the second compound. So this is the honey locust. You should be able to follow this key and identify all 5 of your plants that you choose. To go back to the menu, you click this button and we can choose a different leaf. And this one, the identifiable features are this lobed margin and the shape. It's much larger at the top than at the bottom. That's very distinctive of this plant. We can look at a couple different ones. This one, for instance, does have needle-like leaves. That means that it's a gymnosperm. Along with the cones and the shape of the leaves, I can safely assume this is a conifer tree or a pinophyte. And very helpful, they have measured the needles for us. And these needles are a little bit over 2 inches long, and they come in pairs, in doubles. So those are some very good identifiable features for this plant. There are many different plants available for you to choose from. You only have to identify 5 of them. If you're having a hard time identifying them, you can start over, choose a different one. So if you're not able to identify this plant, you can skip it and identify one of the other ones, as long as we identify 5. This can be done pretty independently. Let's go down and talk about calculating biodiversity. So in this hypothetical situation, you are in charge of Parks and Recreation. And when we do the calculating biodiversity exercise, we are pretending that we are in charge of Parks and Recreation, and we were given the task to choose between 2 different park proposals for the same location. They both cost about the same, so we want to make the best decision for our community. So the first thing that we need to do is compare and contrast these 2 different options. Then we're going to scroll down and we're going to count the number of unique plant species in each of these images. So for park number 1, I counted 1, 2, 3 different kinds of trees, and then the grass. It's all the same species of grass. So I counted 4. This doesn't have to be exact. In park number 2, there are at least 3, 4 different kinds of trees, 2 different kinds of bushes, maybe these like cattails over here, and a bunch of different types of flowers. I counted up 15, but you might get a different number. Now, since we are observing the same amount of square footage, okay, we are going to use the same number for both of them. We're just ballparking it at 50. Let's just stick with 50. When we calculate the biodiversity, we're going to divide this number by this number to get the proportion. So 4 divided by 50 is going to be 0.08 or 8%. Okay, so both of those are correct answers. 15 divided by 50 is 0.3. If I multiply that by 100, I'm going to get 30%. So which one of these parks has more biodiversity? Park number 2 has higher biodiversity than park number 1, which has low biodiversity. So if I were in charge, I would probably choose the one that has more biodiversity because it's going to be better for the community in the long run. That concludes this week's lesson. I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday break, and I will see you when we return.